Hey friends, I'm Amy, a health coach here at Flip Your Leaf, and today we're going to talk about fat. That's right, I said the F word. Now, there are a ton of reasons why having high quality and healthy fats in your diet is essential to your day-to-day health. First of all, there are a whole bunch of vitamins that your body needs to function correctly that are fat soluble. These are called fat soluble vitamins. And what that means is that your body actually needs fat in order to absorb these vitamins. Another reason is that fat helps some of our hormones work correctly. Fat helps us stay full. Fat helps us balance our blood sugar. Fat also protects our organs. This is called visceral fat. It is fat that, creates almost like an insulating layer so that if we are injured, if we are, struck with something, there is a whole insulating layer protecting our organs from injury. And let's just take a second to say that eating fat doesn't make you fat. We're talking about high quality fats here, but you can also indulge in things like cookies and cake and ice cream as part of a healthy lifestyle. It's when we start leaning on those things that they become problematic. It's when the majority of our fat intake is coming from sources that are, not the top of the list that we start getting into trouble. It's also worth noting that your body burns fat every day. You don't have to do anything to coax your body into burning fat. We burn our glucose first, we burn our sugar first, and when that's done, we sort of cycle in and out of sugar and fat production. And so if you are following a diet currently in order to sort of encourage your body to burn fat instead of sugar, I just want to take 1 second and let you know that your body is doing that anyways. And so to sort of address that with your healthcare team, ask your dietitian if there is a more efficient way that you can get what you want. Okay, so when we're talking about these high quality, healthy fats, there are really 3 things that I want you to keep an eye out for. The first thing is monounsaturated fats. And these are fats that are going to increase your good cholesterol, which is that HDL, and they're going to lower the bad cholesterol, which is LDL. And I don't like that term, and we are going to get to that in 1 second. But the second type is polyunsaturated fats. And this is where you're going to find these essential fatty acids. So this is like the omega-3s, this is the omega-6s. And the sort of thing about this group is that they lower your total cholesterol. So that's going to include your bad cholesterol, yay! But that's also going to include your good cholesterol, which is maybe something that we want to manage. The third type of fat that we want to look out for is something called saturated fat. And I know this has gotten a bad rap over the last couple of years. It's like the new eggs, everyone's kind of ew. But it turns out that there are, we talked about that bad cholesterol, that LDL cholesterol, which is no, it's bad for you, boo. It turns out that there are 4 different types of LDL cholesterol, and not all of them are harmful to you or bad. And so don't throw things out just because they contain saturated fat. Those are something that we really want to look at individually, and that's something you can bring to your healthcare team. That's something you can bring to me. We can talk about. But don't throw things away just because they have saturated fat. We've sort of updated our knowledge on that, and saturated fat doesn't necessarily mean bad anymore. Trans fat, on the other hand, is a no. So if you see a product and it has trans fat listed, just put that back for me. That is a no-go. It's been banned in some countries where products are not allowed to contain trans fat in there. And it's to the point where even if it contains trans fat here in North America, it does not contain trans fat if it is heading to Europe. And so that is a hard no. If you're finding trans fat and things, you need to put that down. You need to swap them out for something else, because we know that has been linked to a whole bunch of stuff that you do not want happening to your body. And so that is the only thing that I'm really a hard no on in my practice, is this trans fat, because you don't need it. If you need a product that has trans fat, I will find you something else. Okay, I love you, friend. I will find you something different. Okay, so we've talked about fat as kind of like a concept. We've talked about fat from the perspective of your diet. Now let's talk about fat from the perspective of your IBS. Now we know that fat is a general gut irritant, which means that it can cause bloating, it can cause cramping, it can cause diarrhea, it can slow down digestion, it can do, a whole bunch of things in the gut. We know that people with IBS can be prone to these types of reactions, and so if you're, noticing these symptoms happening after you eat fatty foods, do a little experiment. Try eating it again one day, and did the same thing happen? Or try not eating it for a couple of weeks and see if you feel better, and then trying it again and seeing if it really does kick up your symptoms. Contact your healthcare team, loop them in, and see if there's a different way. This is something that you want in your life, or you travel frequently, and this is something that would be really helpful to you to have in your diet. See if there's a way to make it easier for you to digest it. Is there an easier way for it to sit in your body that doesn't sort of kick up this ruckus for you just because something isn't working for your body now? doesn't mean that there isn't a way that we can find you know, a different way for you to incorporate it into your diet or your lifestyle that works better for you. Whether that's adding more things, changing the timing, sort of changing how you're doing it. Like, it's not always about taking things out of your diet, right? Like, if it really doesn't work for you, it really doesn't work for you. But often we give up on things before we need to, and there are ways to put things back in our diet. Like, the goal is to add. The goal is to add as many things as possible. It is not to take away. And so I guess the take-home message from this piece is that if you are, you know, missing foods that you used to eat because they do sort of trigger your digestive symptoms, one, like, that's not in your head, and two, there are things that we might be able to do for you to sort of lessen that impact for you. Okay, so that was a ton of information for a tiny video, so let's recap our idea for today. High quality fats are an essential part of a healthy diet. They help maintain our nervous system, they help us absorb essential vitamins, they help us maintain our hormones, they protect our organs, they give us energy. Like, the list is just a mile long of reasons why you want healthy and high quality fats in your diet. And I want you to look for them in monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, and saturated fats. But I do want you to steer clear of trans fats. And just as a side note, fats and like greasy foods are a known IBS trigger, and so if you're finding that your IBS is sort of kicking into gear after you're eating these types of foods, if they are foods that you eat regularly, are a part of your diet, you travel, you eat out a lot, that is definitely something that you can bring to your healthcare team. We can loop in different ways that might make it more easy for you, that might make these foods more accessible, or help you find alternative options in the places that you're eating to make sure that you're feeling happy and healthy in your body. If you want to learn more about IBS, how your body works, how the low FODMAP diet works, make sure you're hopping in my low FODMAP newsletter. You're going to get a ton of information. It is all segmented for where you are in your IBS journey right now, so you're getting the information you need when you need it. I'm going to drop the link below. Make sure you get in there. We have a blast. Yeah, that's it for today. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have so many ideas of all the things we're going to bring here. It is going to be a wild ride. Make sure you don't miss it. So hit that subscribe button now, and I will see you in my next video.